Welcome to Two Roads Crossing, a podcast production of the Christian Veterinary Mission. Do you wonder how your faith fits together with your profession? Well, join us as we explore how to live well at the intersection of two roads crossing.
Welcome, everyone, to Two Roads Crossing. I'm your host Curtis Gibbs, and we are here on the road at the Global Gathering in Turkey. It's been just a blessed week. I'm able to share that since we will all be home by the time this airs. But we've spent just a great week with a number of our field workers, and we have Richard and Mary here with us. And so we're so glad for you guys to be joining the podcast today. Thanks for joining.
It's a real treat. Thanks.
Thank you for asking.
So you guys have been on the field for how long?
22 years.
22 years. That is no short season. Tell me a little, or tell us, our listeners, a little bit about what led you to the field, like where you were in life when you decided to go. Tell us a little bit about the backstory there.
Well, I think the backstory actually started when I was in veterinary school, and I found out about Christian Veterinary Mission, and that got me very interested. And so I started going to different meetings, and then I ended up being on a board to help send other field workers to the field, never thinking that I would ever be there. And then when we got married, never thinking we would ever be full-time overseas. And then we went on a short-term trip. But you had been in different businesses.
Why wouldn't you think you would go overseas?
Because I am a small animal veterinarian, and in my mind, only large animal veterinarians served overseas.
That's just for the cows,
livestock.
right? Or that,
It
yeah,
was
that's
just for
right.
the cows. And so I was safe. I would never go, but I could help serve on boards and help give whatever I could do to help that way. And I was in small animal practice for 23 years, and we were raising our 3 children, soccer mom, doing all sorts of things, of activities that you do as families.
All the thing you're supposed to do in the
All
old
the
American
things,
life there. Sure,
right.
sure.
What were you doing?
Well, we were working in our own small business in natural gas, that I'd come out of a background of aviation, where I'd run airports and had a number of employees. And so everything was sort of building from an operational standpoint, where I'd work with people and then work with customers, work with things, work with vendors. So this opportunity was really neat, because I would be a spouse for this operation.
Yeah. But building your own skill set. And I think that's the unique thing about CVM. It's really tries to find an avenue of service for both the vet trained one and the non-vet trained one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
well, you're following this classic American dream.
Right.
When did you take the on-ramp to go into the field? Like, how did that
Well,
come about?
Actually, it was a phone call from Kit Flowers.
Oh, yes, we can all blame Kit for all
Oh,
things.
yeah, we blame him for a lot of things. And he asked me actually, if I would go to Mongolia to help put on a professional women's seminar. And that
Interesting.
I said, well, I'm not a large animal veterinarian. I can't do that. I can't go. And he goes, no, they don't want you to do that. They want you to teach about being a balanced professional as a wife, a mother, and a veterinarian to women. And that's why they want you to go.
And they allow me to teach business.
Well, I said, well, I would like to go if my husband and children can go, because I thought that'd be my way out.
Oh, yeah, that was an off-ramp. Yeah.
The off ramp. It was, and he hesitated. He goes, "Oh, I don't know. I have to check into that." So I thought I was off ramp.
You were in the clear.
I was in the clear. And he called back 2 weeks later and said, "Nope, it's all go. You guys just go." So, and you were excited.
Oh boy.
Children
and
were
the
excited.
Kids were excited. It's
Really?
time for her to get
Yeah,
excited.
sort of find that interesting. I mean, because sometimes the children, can be hesitant. They building friends, or you clearly had your own.
No, I'm sorry. I should back up. It was for 2 weeks.
Oh, this wasn't this was just Okay, well, that's a short adventure then.
It was a short adventure. The kids saw it getting out of school and then shopping for electronics in Korea on the way back.
Oh, that's a
And
pretty easy
you
sales
were
pitch.
up for an adventure.
Oh boy, this would be a great
Yeah,
short-term
no,
trip.
it was
Yeah.
just too much.
Yeah. And we had to look up where Mongolia
Yeah.
was.
Sure, sure.
We had no idea where it was. Yes. So that was the hook.
Uh-huh.
So, and that was in 2001. And our daughter at the time was 11 and our son was 13. And we had an older son that was in university at the time.
Mm.
So, anyway, we went for 2 weeks and we all got grabbed.
Really? I mean, at what
All-
point in that did you start to go, wait a minute, this
Tell about
might be,
yours.
It was when our son we were looking out the window in the little apartment we were staying in. And he said, "What do you think it'd be like to go to school here?"
wow.
And I looked at
How old was he? How old was George?
13.
Okay, 13. Okay, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, well, no. And then I was thinking, my goodness, is something stirring in his heart?
Oh.
And sure enough, we didn't really talk much about that then, but it was such an impactful 2 weeks. We were doing dramas. The kids were doing dramas. We went into schools and did dramas.
Okay.
We did the seminar. You were teaching business, and
Yeah.
and it was an amazing 2 weeks.
It allowed us to use our talents
Mm-hmm.
in what we felt was an effective way to touch people in another country. And we'd never seen that, even though we'd gone on short mission trips in the past. It had been more one person of the family being involved with their talents, but this allowed all of us to be involved with what our talents and abilities.
Yeah.
So that's really neat that we could use them that way.
Yeah.
So, but when it really got us, it was when we were leaving
Yeah.
and saying goodbye.
Mm.
And our daughter broke into tears crying because she didn't want to leave. And we all had tearful goodbyes. But then we went to Korea. What happened then?
We went to Korea to shop.
Sure, electronics on the way back.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we went to have a Burger King because we hadn't had a good burger.
Oh, yeah, the things you miss when
Yeah.
you're on the field. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So we went to Burger King, said we missed Mongolia,
Wow.
and we all started crying.
Over our
It's
French
time to
fries.
go back.
And it wasn't because they were bad fries. It was because, yeah.
No. It was great
Yep.
fries, but it was a super time that we had in Mongolia to really see the heart of the Mongolians who wanted, it appeared, to have good mentoring and teaching
Uh-huh.
in various areas, and maybe we could supply those.
And you've got business. Did you see opportunities for small animal in that time?
Mhm. No,
Yep.
there was a small animal clinic
Yeah.
there at that time. And so that's one of the things I did during that 2 weeks was help serve in the small animal clinic. And so it was just such an eye opener. But we had gone on short-term trips before without the children,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing grabbed us and grabbed our heart like Mongolia did and the people there in Mongolia that we worked.
Yeah.
So, so we ended up moving back, but it took a while to kind of detach
Sure.
from business and clinics, school, and sell things and raise
You
money,
got raising support. Sure.
raising the support. But when did we land in Mongolia and move there?
February 14th,
Valentine's Day.
2004.
How about that?
Take-
Yeah, we thought it'd be a great reception and beautiful weather. And I think there was 1 or 2 people came out to the airport, and it was -40.
Oh my.
We walked into the deep freeze and went, whoa, what have we done?
Yep. You start to go, yeah. we need to- Now, did your kids go with you? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So at this point, what were their ages?
Goodness, at that time, George was 16. He'd already been driving.
Okay.
And then Sally was 13.
And so they were still game for it. They were, wow. How about that?
They were, and it was wonderful because there was a wonderful homeschool co-op
Mhm.
of a lot of other children that are like-minded. And so they all went to school together. They had their separate curriculum because they were all homeschooled, but they were doing all of that together.
Together,
And,
so
and
still
the
community.
activities
Okay.
together. And soccer together, and so it was a wonderful time for them as well to grow.
We asked our two children what they really wanted to have when they got there. And this is, year and a half before we left. And they said, we'd just love to be on the soccer team in Mongolia.
How about that?
And so we were, just pray. And so Kit and Brad asked us what they were praying for when we went to a conference of CBM. And we said, the kids are praying for soccer. And Brad looked at us like, there's no soccer in Mongolia.
Yeah.
And Kit said, well, haven't you heard? We said, what's that? They said, a soccer coach was thrown off a team that was just happened to win the World Cup that year. And he was the skills coach, and he decided to be a missionary in Mongolia.
Oh, wow. You got to be kidding. How about that?
Yeah. And so our kids had the wonderful training of the Brazilian skills trainers for the Brazil championship.
Those guys are good. Those guys are good.
They
Yeah.
won that year.
Yeah.
And he came to Mongolia, and he was their coach, and they just loved learning soccer. But there's not season for soccer, so it was all inside.
Yeah. A little indoor.
Sometime, and,
Yeah,
and then they were in several tournaments, and so it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
God provides, doesn't he? Right.
He
How about
does.
that? You pray for the Lord, you get the Brazilian World Cup coach. How about that? So a short-term mission trip turns into 22 plus years. How long we been going here?
For 2.
Okay.
We made the commitment for 2, and we told our son that we would go back home so he could graduate with his high school class.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
But we didn't.
But you didn't. Okay.
But we didn't. Because he actually said, you're getting close to the time, the 2 years is up, and I just don't feel that you're done here. So I'm okay to graduate here. So he graduated with 4 other young men. Well, I guess 3, because he was in a class of 4.
Oh, that's right.
In his homeschool co-op.
They probably knew each other.
We knew each other really well. Yes.
Be a fun 10-year reunion.
And our daughter, 2 years after that, graduated with 9.
With
9 total.
No, we're doubling it.
Yeah.
Some, yeah.
Big class.
Her class. And so they ended up leaving us, and then we stayed there in Mongolia. But we've been there 22 years.
Do you have any resistance from friends, family, when you started to share your dream and your vision to go?
The funny thing about that was friends would say, well, I've had a dream or I've had a vision that you should go to Mongolia. And they'd say that to Mary, and Mary'd say, well, I haven't had that.
Yeah, glad you did that.
I'm glad.
It was a bad burrito. Moving on, but no, this was a wow. So
Yeah.
well, that's what happens when you have the right friends. And
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
supportive. Yeah.
We did have a few friends that said, why don't you just move on to Mongolia, leave your children with us? Because we'll keep them in school, and you just go off and do your thing.
Yeah.
We did have a few friends that
Sure.
do that. And then we did have some other friends. We found out later, after we'd been, I guess there 1 year, they came on a short trip.
Okay.
But they revealed to us later that they came to check on us because they thought we were in a midlife crisis when we signed
Oh,
up.
okay.
And they were going to come rescue us.
Quite a new mission strategy. We're going to look for people in midlife, capitalize on their crisis, and send them to the field. Yeah, no, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
Anyway, they had been there.
I mean, that's lovely
They're-
that they came to check on you, but
Well, the funny thing is, they've come about 8 or 9, 10 times now.
sure.
Because now they see it. I mean, they saw it that first time they were there. They go, "Oh, we totally understand why you're here."
Yeah.
So anyway,
Well, you guys have been faithful servants for a long time and continue to be so. Switching gears, here we are at this global gathering, wrapping up on this this Friday of just a week of being around field workers from all over. What is something that's been special to you, each of you, this week?
oh gosh, I think the faithfulness of God, but the faithfulness of the workers, and how they've been faithful to what their calling is, and all the walk of life they've come from, and are walking in hard countries.
Mm-hmm.
that they're walking into, but the love and compassion that they each have.
Well, I think God uses our availability
Mhm.
many times, not our ability. I went over to teach business.
Mhm.
I've still got those lessons, but I haven't ever taught.
Sure.
You just lived it.
I
You
just lived
just
it.
started doing the business of the org there. Yeah, no, that's amazing.
So we
Hmm.
we were blessed with getting into things that we sort of knew, we thought we knew, but we really learned while we were working with the Mongolians and trying to help them move forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they say when maybe the best ability is availability,
Mhm.
and you guys have made yourself available to see what God's gonna do through you. And now that team where you serve, I mean, y'all have had a number of long-term field workers come
Yes.
through. You've
Mhm.
had so many short-term trips or
Oh,
shuttles over.
absolutely.
You have had the opportunity to meet some pretty incredible people over the years.
We have from all cultures.
Sure.
Oh my goodness, and that's not the United States. We've learned a lot about the Brits, the Irish, the Kiwis, the Aussies.
All
They all
coming through your
cultures and they're all
Sure.
different ways of doing things, but it's just been so fun
Yeah.
to really get to know them and to serve them and have them be part of the work.
Well, the short-term workers come to give their talents and their abilities in a real short time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Sure.
4 weeks, and they come ready to serve. And that's so neat because we can get them to focus on things that will help the team. And in helping the team, they'll leave and say, well, I don't know, did anyone really listen? But we get to stay after the short-term workers leave and we hear, oh, I learned this from this short-term worker. I learned this from this other short-term worker. And this is helping me now. And that's so exciting because they're building on the things that focused on to help them grow. And those short-term workers were right at the right time when God put them there to help the nationals grow and do their job better.
Yeah. And I mean, I even think about, shoot, Dr. Steve from Montana, Dr. Patricia from Arizona, and then all these people. And of course, you guys have had such a long history of service alongside Gerald and Francis as
Oh
well.
my goodness, absolutely.
That's probably some special relationship there.
They're the ones that said yes in the very beginning. And Frances didn't. She said, Gerald, you go and then come back when you're finished.
That's right.
but then no, she finally followed. And what they have done to set up and it led to everything that's happening now is just amazing. And of course, he's a veterinarian. She was a teacher, and so those are the projects that we're involved with: veterinary medicine and teaching.
But with Gerald, he's the founder of that service or program in Mongolia, and as a founder, he had certain things that he just wanted to see happen. I imagine like Leroy Dormady.
Sure.
And
Not unlike
and I was
you.
trying to work with operations and maintenance, and so we had a scripture come alive that iron sharpens iron.
Yep. That's gonna happen, right? That's gonna happen, and you both grow forward, and you both chip a little off each other as well, and this, that, and the other. You get better and you grow. Well,
Yeah, but when we arrived there, that was Gerald's directive to us both.
yeah,
For me to, as a veterinarian, to start. I wasn't a small animal veterinarian really in Mongolia. We've had other small animal vets that have come to serve there, but I was to help develop the veterinary continuing education for the Mongolian veterinarians of the country to help improve their ability of being a veterinarian and serving. And then his directive to
and
you.
that was for the 5 major animals:
yeah.
right.
the sheep, the goat,
Mm-hmm.
the cow or the yak,
Oh, sure.
and the horse, and the camel.
Yeah.
A
yeah.
2-hump camel,
Yeah.
Bactrian camel. So this is a whole new world for her.
Me.
And then
It's not felines. Yeah.
Cats.
Not like here in Turkey, right? Yeah.
and Gerald said, find money.
To you.
Where do you find money in Mongolia?
Off the tree.
He said, look for donations before we came, and I didn't find any.
Sure.
Look for ways to help with veterinary pharmaceuticals. I contacted over 80 pharmaceutical companies and none would work with us.
When we were still in the United States.
Yeah. And so he says, go out and find money. Oh, come on, Gerald.
Yeah.
But as God would have it, in his humor, we went out, and after a few days, we were challenged by one of the development groups in Mongolia to provide veterinary training to 5 states in Mongolia. We had asked for 11. They said, we don't believe you've really taught. And of course, I was selling. I didn't know what we could do.
We didn't even have a curriculum together.
Sure.
We didn't even know
It's groundbreaking. Yeah.
we didn't know what a state was called.
Yeah.
Or much less a county. So we were just doing our best. And he says, come back in 2 days with a 2-paragraph summary of what you can do to help me in this development. And I will see what we can give you. And so we developed that, brought it back. And he said, he said, we can do this. I can't give you 11 states, but we can give you 5. And here's the amount. And I dropped my chin on the table and I said, that's a good first phase.
Yep.
And I had to, I couldn't understand it. It was just more than I expected.
Sure.
And that's God.
It is God. He predictions.
That just set us up for the continuing education veterinary program that we continue to do now.
Still going on today.
It still goes on.
Through that, we were able to offer this education yearly to all the best private practice veterinarians of the country of Mongolia every year.
Yeah.
So anyone that can come, anyone that's willing to learn can still come. And that training's going on every year. And then we are able to work through the vets and help them train their herders, because even though we've shown them how to work with the herders, they want VetNet to come in and demonstrate it.
Yeah.
As if it were them to their herders. So that's really neat.
Yeah. It's really powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful. And then after a little bit, you started recontacting veterinary pharmaceutical companies and actually found a lot of them around the world that would work. So
we're
that now
willing now to
so we
proofs
registered
in the pudding. So
those pharmaceuticals, and that's a big part of what you do. Is I'm helping with the registration, but he does all the contracts and the shipping and the ordering and all of that. So
did y'all know y'all were gonna work this close? I mean, you had a family, but you were working and stuff, but now all of a sudden here you are in the same.
well, we like working together.
Right.
Looks like it's working out.
It's working
It looks like it's working out just fine.
And she worked in our home office. I work from home.
Yeah.
And a small business. And then when her days where she was just doing paperwork or whatever with the veterinary service, she'd come home and work together. And so we work together a lot.
Yeah.
That's fun for us.
Yeah. Cheers to that. Me and Shannon do as well. Well, you've been good and faithful servants. This has been a great week. And
It has.
It's
been
fabulous.
A special week.
It's been an amazing week.
needs to happen more often, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
50 years doesn't happen really often.
That's true. But I think a global gathering shouldn't wait till 50. How about that?
Yeah,
Phil,
that's
let's got to
good.
do this again. So, well, thank you all for all the service you've done, and thank you guys for just showing us how to live our faith in veterinary medicine out well and business out well together, right? So,
Well, the CBM
Mhm.
is for veterinarians,
Mhm.
but the spouses get to go along with them.
That's right.
This
And
is
so,
very important.
right.
There's always something that God has in mind for the spouse.
Mhm.
So the veterinarians who are hesitant to go because they're concerned about their spouse should think, God's got a plan for my spouse
For their kids.
and their kids.
Yeah,
That's right.
As
How
well.
about that?
Yeah,
So-
we can all work together for good because God goes before us.
That's right.
It sure does. Well, thank you all for sharing today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Two Roads Crossing, a podcast production of the Christian Veterinary Mission. If you are blessed by this content, like and subscribe so that you are alerted when new content is released. If you would like more information about CVM, or if you have questions, comments, or topical suggestions, you can find us online at www.cvm.org. Or you can contact us by emailing podcast@cvm.org. God has a plan for the nations, and that plan includes you. We pray that CVM has encouraged you to live out your calling with confidence and competence. So, until next time, may the voice of the shepherd ring loud and clear as you follow him in faith to the intersection of two roads crossing.